Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for watching today, so that way I can show you how to make this super cute, very easy to make, very fast winter hat. It's got a basic design, but it does have the fancy stitch and embellishment stitched onto there to give it a little bit of texture and some eye-catching features. To get started, I'm using a worsted weight yarn number 4. It's a washer dryer safe, and I have a 5.75 millimeter hook that I'm using. To get started, we're going to make an adjustable loop or a magic circle, whichever you prefer to call it. And into that, we're going to chain 2 before we put 9 double crochets into the center of the circle. As a reminder, a double crochet is wrap your yarn around the hook, poke it down in, grab it up, 3 loops on the hook, grab the yarn and pull it through 2, grab the yarn and pull it through 2. All right, so you're just going to keep putting double crochets into here until you have a total of 10. To join, you just grab your tail, close that circle, and go to the top of your first chains and join together with a slip stitch. Now for this project, the beginning chains will count as the first stitch, and we're going to put another double crochet right into that same place. All the way around this row, we're going to put 2 double crochets into each one of our stitches to increase our number at the end of round 2 by 10. So we'll end up with a total of 20 stitches in round 2. Round number 3, we're going to continue with our increases. So we chain up 2, go back into that same place for another double crochet, and into the stitch right next to it, we're going to put 1 double crochet. So for round number 3, our repeating pattern that we're making is 2 and 1. 2 double crochets, then 1 double crochet. At the end of round number 3, you should have a total of 30 stitches. Round number 4, we're going to continue increasing by 10. For this row, we're going to have our repeats be 2, 1, and 1. So 2 double crochets, followed by a double crochet and a double crochet, 1 into each of the next 2 stitches. So 2, 1, 1 all the way around, and at the end of round number 4, you should have a total of 40 stitches. All right, round number 5. We're going to chain up 2 and go back into the same place again with our double crochet. And we are going to put 1 double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. So again, we're increasing our count around by 10. So 2 into the same, and then 1, 1, 1. Do that all the way around, and when you get back over here to the end, you should have a total of 50 stitches. Round number 6, we're going to continue with our increasing again, putting a double crochet into the same place, and then we will make 4 stitches, so 1 into each of the next 4 stitches around. By the end of round number 6, you should have a total of 60 stitches. All right, so let me just pause here for a moment so I can talk size to you guys. So if we stop our increasing here after row number 6, the end size should be about 21 inches around. If you need a little bit bigger, you have a couple different options. For slightly bigger, I would add 6 stitches to make that a 66 stitch count around. We want to make sure that that it's a multiple of 3 stitch count when we're doing the fancy embellishment stitch here. So if that makes sense, what you can do is do the increases, and then in the next 9 make 1 double crochet in each stitch. To make it a little bit even bigger than that, you can just make a total stitch count of 72 by making an increase and then a double crochet into each of the next 5 stitches. With that would give you 70, but then you just need to add 2 more double crochets into it. All right, for my head, the 21 inch is perfect, so we're going to stop the increases here at 60. All right. In this next row, what we are going to do is make 1 double crochet into each of the stitches all the way around. Now, if you do choose to increase the size of it by either adding up to adding up to 66 stitches or the 72 stitches, you would just skip this row. In other words, this would be your increase row, and then the next row will be the start of our feature stitch. All right, so just continue working 1 stitch in each of your double crochets, or if you are doing the increase, extra increase round, go ahead and continue that, and I'll meet you back for the next step. All right, for row number 8, we're going to start working on our feature stitch. We're going to chain up 2, and then we're going to add 1 more chain. Going to make a double crochet into the 2nd stitch behind it. So we're just going to work our double crochet from the inside of our hat. So from the back side, we're going to put our hook in, and then you can turn your work to help make that double crochet easier. All right, so that's the first one of our X's that we're making. To continue on, we go ahead and skip down 3 stitches from where we are. Okay, so we'll skip, we'll make a double crochet into this 3rd stitch here. We're going to chain 1, and then we're going to go back to the 1st stitch here that we skipped and put a double crochet into that. All right, so skip into our 3rd, chain 1, and go back into the 1st one that you skipped with a double crochet. So continue working on this way for all of this row, and when you get done with it, you should have a total of 20 of these little crisscross, these X's. If you are doing the next size up, when you have a 66 total count around, then you should have a total of 22 crosses. And if you went to the large size, then you'll have a total of 24 of these crosses. I'll meet you back over at the end to help you learn how to join that together. At the end of this 8th row, I wanted to show you how to connect it together and to finish out this row. Now, your first stitch might be looking something similar to this, right? So what you just need to do is kind of get your chain back over here and make sure this cross is in the front, because we want to put our slip stitch into our second chain. So remember, here we chained up 3. We had our starting double crochet and then our chain. So we want to go into this chain right here to leave our chain 1 space. So we're just going to join it with our slip stitch. We'll chain up 2 for row number 9, or round number 9. In this round, we're going to put a half double crochet into each one of our stitches. That's counting as our first. Now, our second will be in our chain 1 space, but instead of going into that chain, we're just going to go up underneath it. So you kind of just want to separate your X a little bit, be able to fit your hook down underneath and make our half double crochet, and then put a half double crochet into the next stitch. All right, so we have our first stitch, our middle stitch, and then our end. All right, so keep working that way all the way around. Remember your stitch count should be 60, 66, or 72. When you're done with this half double crochet row, we're going to make 1 more of these crisscross rows. All right, so after you've completed this row and your next crisscross row, then go ahead and join me back, and I will show you the next steps from there. All right, so we finished with our feature stitches here, and for round number 11, 12, and 13, we're going to simply put 1 double crochet into each one of our stitches all the way around. I should mention that when you're doing this first row, please remember that there is a chain in the space in between. So we are going into that space under here, or in here, right? Into this space. That's your chain 1 spot. All right, so you should have the total again of 60, 66, or 72 for this row, the next, and the next. So the next 3 rows. All right, to finish up our hat, our last row is going to be row number 14. We're going to chain up 1. We're going to go right back into our same place and make a single crochet. Oh, my yarn. There we go, single crochet, and then we're just going to put a single crochet into each one of our stitches all the way around our hats. When we come back to the end over here where we started, we will not chain or not slip stitch into our chain. We'll slip stitch to the top of our first single crochet, and that's going to finish off our hat. And just to show you, that was very simple to make. Just to show you though, as I guess maybe a bonus, if you wanted to eliminate our the feature rows, the 2 crossover rows, you would just do a repeating rows of the number after you have your increases. So again, that would be the 60, 66, or 72. So you just keep going around that number after you finished your increasing rows, and then you get a plain double crochet hat like this. Okay, so kind of a 2-for-1 for this video. All right, Remember to leave yourself enough of a tail that you're able to sew that in easily at the end. Just going to tuck in my tail for the moment while we admire all the work that we have just done. It took less than an hour to complete it. And ta-da! Now stick around if you want to learn how to make a matching scarf for this. I'm going to start off with a chain of 27 for that. And I'm going to work into the third chain from my hook and put down a foundation row of double crochet. So I'm going to put one double crochet into each stitch all the way down. When you're working this row, if you don't want your scarf to be as wide as mine or you'd like it wider, remember that this beginning chain is going to be a multiple of 3. When you get down to the end, you'll chain 2 and turn your work, and that's going to count as the first double crochet of the next row. You'll want to have a total of 5 rows of double crochet, and then we'll start on the feature stitch for your scarf. For this row, our 6th row, we're going to let this be acting as our first double crochet, and it's going to be acting as our border. So we're going to have a double crochet on this side as well on this side. Our last stitch will be a double crochet. So our fancy stitch, remember our crisscross stitch, we skip 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, make our double crochet into this stitch here. We chain 1, and then we make a double crochet into the first stitch here that we skipped. Remember to poke your hook around to the opposite side. Well, I'm having trouble finding that stitch. Can't see so well as I'm getting older. Anyways, you just do your double crochet. We're going to skip the next 3. Remember to make your chain stitch in between. Go around to the back side and make your double crochet. Skip 3 stitches. Remember to watch out for this one. You might think this is 1 stitch, but it's already occupied. So 1, 2, 3. Chain 1. Make your next double crochet. Continue on that way all the way down to the end of the row here. In the top of your chain 2 spot from the row before, you're going to put your last double crochet of this row. Now we're going to chain 2, and we're going to put a half double crochet into each one of our stitches here from this row before. So we put our half double, just like we did with our hat. You might need to split this open a little bit to put your stitch not into the chain 1 spot, but into the space in between. Now, as you were working the row previous, if you happen to forget to put your chain 1 space in between, that's all right. We're just going to force it in between and just split those V's apart. Just like that. Now our count, we started with 27 So our count across should be 26. So it'll be one less than your starting chain. So anyways, we're just going to mimic what we did on our hat here. After this row of the half double crochets, we're going to put another row in of the crisscross X stitches, and then you will repeat the 5 rows of double crochet, and then you'll put in your row of the crisscross, half doubles, crisscross, 5 double crochets, continuing on and on and on until you've reached the length that you'd like to have for your scarf. So anyways, there you have it. I hope you have enjoyed the video, and hopefully I was clear enough in my instructions that I didn't make it too complicated and just make it all confusing. So anyways, let me know what you think. Please comment, like the video, considering subscribing, and until next time, thanks so much.